U7Buy provides the most convenient, fastest, and safest way to upgrade your team with numerous positive reviews and verified by top creators from different countries with 24/7 online customer support. Now you can enjoy an extra free coins for every order. Don't miss the opportunity for up to 4 million free coins. Use my code Inception for another 8% off. Okay guys, we're going to be doing a live reaction to the new FC26 foot trailer, so let's see what the vibes are, man.
Here's what's new in Football Ultimate Team for FC26. An exciting expansion of FUT's competitive structure with live events, including Gauntlets and the return of tournaments, introducing more ways to compete and earn rewards. A revamp of Rivals and Champs, including the removal of qualifiers and the addition of a second tier of Weekend League. Huge improvements to disconnects on draws, plus repeatable evos, and an overhauled gameplay experience powered by community feedback and tuned specifically for Ultimate Team. Let's kick off with live events, a new home for a variety of competitions, starting with the return of tournaments. Backed by popular demand, tournaments are high-stakes knockout football at its best.
Had to ask for 7 years for this to come back.
And losers getting sent back to the lobby. Tournament matchmaking ensures you'll always face an opponent in the same round as you, guaranteeing intense matchups every step of the way. You'll compete for unique, tournament-specific rewards and have regular opportunities to experience the intensity and glory of knockout football throughout the season.
Good.
Gauntlets are a new live event designed to test your club depth, making every one of your players more important and challenging your ability to compete with different squads.
Good.
Each gauntlet consists of a set number of matches. But here's the catch. You must use a completely new squad every single match. Unlike tournaments, you won't get knocked out when you lose, but the more wins you get, the better your rewards will be. Live events are also replacing and reinventing friendlies. Live events, including gauntlets and tournaments, can have squad requirements, house rules, and newly added entry requirements.
Max Division 6, huh?
Objectives, such as winning a qualifier tournament. We've also made big changes to Rivals and Champs based on your feedback.
Good.
Bounties are the first huge addition to Rivals. One-game objectives that pop up every few matches and give you a chance at immediate rewards. Complete the challenge and you'll earn weekly reward points, accelerated progress, season pass points, or even packs. Bounties won't always be about the win, with challenges like score the first goal giving you a chance to earn rewards regardless of the match result. Checkpoints have also been improved to help players who felt stuck in difficult divisions, with the addition of limited checkpoints, which allow relegation after a set number of losses. We heard your feedback, and Champions playoffs are no more. In FC26, you'll qualify for Champions directly by reaching a high enough division and earning Champions qualification points. And for those lower division players, we're introducing Challenges, a second tier of champions that allows people of different skill levels to experience the thrill of Weekend League. But don't worry, Champions will still be the pinnacle, with stiffer competition and better rewards. We're building on our improvements in FC25 regarding disconnects. We know your stance and we agree. Players shouldn't be able to take wins away from you by quitting early. We also know when these quits typically happen and when they're the most frustrating. Late in a game, after a red card, or before a penalty. In FC26, if the score is tied and your opponent disconnects in any of these situations, not just by the menu, but by any method, you will receive the win. Evolutions are changing based on your feedback as well. In FC26, some evos will be repeatable, similar to how it works with SBCs and objectives. Cosmetic evos will now also stack, and you'll be able to maintain the look of some evos so you can still boost the player's ratings without losing existing visuals. The Ultimate Edition comes with one extra evo slot, meaning you'll be able to evo 2 players at once from the very beginning of the year. We know these details matter, and each will make the Ultimate Team experience better. But the most fundamental change, and the one you've been the most vocal about, is gameplay. Ultimate Team now has its very own gameplay experience called competitive gameplay. It's tuned to maximize 3 things: responsiveness, consistency, and control. And it's designed to deliver the fast, dynamic, and attacking football you've been asking for. We mentioned quicker passing, more fluid dribbling, fewer AI blocks and tackles, fewer bounce backs, and more responsive animations in our gameplay deep dive. But there are even more ways competitive gameplay is tuned for player control and responsiveness. You'll see fewer goals from keeper rebounds, Although this happens in real life, we know it's a frustrating way to concede, and it feels out of your control. That's the exact feeling competitive gameplay is aimed at addressing. Player stamina is also being treated differently. As your players tire, they'll remain just as explosive and agile, but only when you're controlling them, to reward active defending and player switching. One-touch passes are also more responsive. Now, passes can sometimes be triggered in as little as 1 frame before receiving the ball, making your players more reactive to split-second decisions you make. Each of these changes makes the game feel more responsive and encourages you to be in control, which is the feeling we want you to have when you play Ultimate Team this year. Ultimate Team is about you, the players you love, your tactics, your favorite modes, the choices you make as you play. And we hope that by expanding FUT's competitive structure with more ways to compete, improving core parts of the FUT experience, and introducing competitive gameplay, that you'll feel in control, on and off the pitch. Look out for more FUT info in the pitch notes right after this and on our social channels. Pre-order the FC26 Ultimate Edition now to get an icon today in FC25, plus a debut icon in FC26 at launch, up to 6,000 FC points, an extra Evo slot, and more.
I think that's everything. You know what's really crazy? Is that this, from what I'm seeing, right? This is like if they had competent devs 5 or 6 years ago when I used to rant about certain things, and being fair to lower level people and higher level people, good balance of gameplay, game modes. Like from an Ultimate Team perspective, even though I don't agree with like quantity amounts game modes because it forces a certain habit from people, right? People get more upset pretty much. All of what I've seen here is good. It's what makes sense, right? You have a tournament mode that I've been every single year in the beginning of the year. It's like last 6, this is how I know, like, I feel like, because of how bad FC25 was, that's where they actually needed to make a change. It's like they have people that are like new at the studios that have probably watched people complaining about certain things, and then they're like new hires there, and they're like, no, we have to start adding these things to create a balance in our game, right? You guys need to understand how important it is to have tournament modes when you have game modes like Division Rivals and like FUT Champs. You know what I'm very surprised about is that they have no words whatsoever about FUT Draft. So it's probably going to be untouched. It's probably going to be like the same concept where you basically just pay to play it. I don't know if they'll do like challenges or anything like that for it, but I'm very surprised they didn't mention anything about FUT Draft. But this is the balance that I have basically been begging for years. Every single time in the beginning of every single FC and FIFA, when you get 3 weeks into the game and you climb into the higher divisions, the game is now annoying to play because you only have to use the top tier meta players. You don't have a tournament mode to chill and play the game and not have to be as serious about it. And then apparently with Division Rivals, there's like less challenges that you have to do, basically giving time back to the player in order for you to achieve certain things and then just play the game more for fun. Because for me, the way that I view these types of video games, especially a game like FC and FIFA, is that you play these game modes like Champs, like Rivals, you're sweating it out, but you're sweating it out for the purpose of having fun in a tournament mode game. And the thing is that now you have a choice, right? Like people who don't want to be competitive at all, but still want to play competent matchmaking will just play the tournament mode anyways and not even bother with those game modes. So this to me is telling me, like I said, it's almost like new hire devs because, bro, guys, some of these things that they're adding is like, I'm telling you, it's like 5, 6, 7 years. Like if you guys watch the older rants videos, like the amount of times I had to ask, like, bro, add a tournament mode to have a balance, right? Now you have the balance. You have the balance of competitive modes in Division Rivals where it's going to be the sweatiest for you to get your stuff, but now it's apparently like less things to do. You have FUT Champs, which is your quantity amount, but I don't know, it's probably not a lot of games. We'll check it out in the pitch notes. You have tournament mode. You have foot drafts you can play for fun. And then for the people that want to play against the AI, they have squad battles. This is the balance that you need in a game like this. Not, we only have rivals, we only have champs. Foot draft is untouched. So when you play in the first 3 or 4 weeks and you hit the higher divisions, the game is only sweaty to play. A little bit of sweat is okay. Every game you play is sweat, okay? But honestly, like this balance, it makes more sense than some of the video games that I play that are not FC. Because, you know, other games, like say you play Rivals or you play CSGO, right? You get to a point where it's like, it gets a little bit too competitive and it gets a little bit draining. You don't want to play it all the time. That's why you only play like 1 or 2 games. So that's why in a game like this, it's important that they did this stuff. So that's good. Good changes for things like that. Very, very good stuff. It's like I said, it's like devs that are new, because I don't like the older ones. I'm sorry, but they were really stupid because it took way too long. You know what I'm saying? We got there eventually. This is the balance that you need in a game, right? So this is good. It's the first year ever since they included foot champs that I am saying this. The first year, okay? So that's a good thing. Okay, so let's take a look at the pitch notes here, which they probably added foot deep dive, right? So it's this one right here. Let's go ahead and check this stuff out. So, okay, so it's not as crazy as the gameplay one, because the gameplay one, I did miss certain things of them mentioning how they nerfed like the garbage gameplay mechanics like L1 speed boost, step over acceleration, you know, the rat of garbage FC mechanics. So I did miss some of those because, like I said, the list was really long, but yeah. So that's good. I don't even need to play the game to know that that balance is how it should have always been, with the proper balance of game modes, because people who are not competitive can still go play tournament mode and have some fun. Like I can now use a player that might not be as meta, and then I can, it'd be cool though if you could do evos in these tournaments too, right? Because I don't want to always have to play online, but if I'm playing, it'd be cool. A cool variable is giving online games more value, right? So I don't know if they would ever do this, but if you are, let's say you're in like the higher divisions, like you're in like division 1, 2, 3, whatever it is that they're going to be doing, because we're going to read these pitch notes, right? It would be cool if they added a system where it's like, if you're doing an evolution that requires you to play games and to do specific objectives, the value of when you are doing those objectives should be like increased if you are doing it online. Does that make sense? Like, let's say for instance, you had, like I'm using Quaresma, and let's say Quaresma was not meta. I don't know how good he's going to be. We're going to see, right? But let's say I'm using Quaresma, and then I'm doing an evolution on Quaresma, who may not be meta for the top divisions, but I'm using him in the top divisions anyways. It would be cool if it was like, oh, play 3 games with this Quaresma and win. And instead of them giving you like 1 game to win, it would be like 3 games to win because you're in the higher division. Something like that would be really cool, but I think that'd be a little bit more complicated to actually do, because to be honest, I've never seen other video games do that. But it would be really cool to not have to force the player to do the offline stuff for the evolution. So as long as you guys allow people to do evos in tournament mode, because if we hit higher divisions, like we're not going to want to do evos. Like if I do an evo for a Portuguese player and he's garbage for the top divisions, I would still like to play online. I wouldn't want to do it in squad battles. I think that'd be important. So we'll see if they end up doing that, right? Okay, so all this stuff is pretty self-explanatory, and then we're going to be taking a look at this stuff. So this is like basically the actual new things here. So live events, building on friendlies, live events are a new pillar of Foot's competitive structure. They're designed to bring more variety in what you play and the squads you use throughout each season. This is where you'll experience themed competitions, which challenge your ability to build and play with different squads. You'll access them through new event hub built with a streamlined interface that makes it easy to check out event availability requirements, rewards, and your progress at a glance. Entry requirements. To enter some live events, your squad may need to meet custom criteria. Requirements are intended to create a competitive layer of progression and can enable you to qualify for special locked live events, which may include completing a specific objective or objective group, reaching a rival's division, rarity, club, league, or nation count, player quality, chemistry, or position rules. The season is coming to a close. Qualify for this event to earn SP packs and seasonal rewards. La Liga EA Sports players, minimum 5 in the squads, play 20 rivals matches. Cool. I'll zoom in. Yeah, I got you guys. A little bit small for you guys. I got you. Okay, so let's see what they say here. Sorry, I lost it because I zoomed in way too much. Is this good like this? Yeah, I think you guys can see this. Yeah, you can. Okay, so season finale. Custom rules and match settings, house rules, classic match, max chemistry, first to X goals, mystery ball, no rules, long range, swaps and survival, match limits, solo only, co-op only, or open matchmaking. You know, the co-op part is something that they definitely need to expand on quite a bit, because this is a very lonely game to play, and if you do really cool objectives and stuff through co-op, I think that'd be really sick. Like if you're playing on if you're playing with a friend and they meet the squad criteria when you might not be able to, I think that'd be a pretty cool thing to have, right? So objective linking, rewards and your progression towards them are well known to friendlies, fans, but often you're required to jump across multiple menus to track your progress. Events are streamlining this for you, giving you direct access to claim what you've earned without digging through the objectives menu. In FC26, you'll be able to spend more time on the pitch and less time navigating menus. Each event will highlight its own set of objectives that you are able to complete in that event. Matchmaking can be configured for each individual live event to use either per event win form, your match record in a specific live event only, global win form, your match record across other global win form events. Okay, so new play menu, single nation tournament. Compete in the single nation tournament. Live event to complete objectives and earn awards. Event ends in 20 days. Entries 10 out of 10. It depends on the difficulty of this. This is where that's where I feel bad for the lower quality players if they can't earn certain things. Like the way video games work is that if you are of lower skill, it takes you longer to complete objectives in a game. You know what I'm saying? But if this is where the quantity amount, this is where I don't agree with it, right? I don't agree with quantity amounts in video games, period, right? Because again, it depends on how difficult it is, but you create a stress part in the game when you do stuff like this, right? So we'll see the difficulty of this, because this is where I feel bad for the lower quality player. I don't like this concept. This is why I don't like foot champs, right? Quantity amounts. Rivals is perfectly fine, eh? And it's sweatier. I don't care about the sweaty parts. I care about proper game mode balance. But the entry part, you're adding a stress element in a video game, which I don't like. It's that addiction part of a video game that I'm not a huge fan of. It's like if I was playing Rivals and I had to play 30 entries to get to Grandmaster. You know what I'm saying? For me, I'm not a fan of that. Okay, so we'll see how this ends up working out when the game's out. But this is why I've always, for years, you guys know me for 10 plus years, I've always said quantity amounts in video games I'm not a fan of, right? Guys, I can get this stuff. I feel bad for the general player because, again, you have to create video games where it's like if you're of higher higher skill, you will unlock things way quicker. It's like Call of Duty players. If you're really good, buddy, you're going to get those attachments, you're going to get those camouflage, you're going to get all that stuff way quicker than the average Joe, right? But they can still get it. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. This is the addiction element that they add into the game, which I'm not crazy about, right? The foot play menu has been reworked from ground up in FC26 to make it easier to navigate, discover, and jump into your preferred modes, allowing you to not only see an upcoming live events at a glance, but also their rewards. The redesigned menu uses the following categories for you. The For You tab is personalized hub within the new player play menu, surfacing the most relevant content based on your activity. It contains 3 distinct categories: new, freshly launched competitions, updated in real time, continue. So these things, so Ultimate, Gauntlet, and then Challengers. Okay. 4 rounds, golden goal, mystery ball, entries 10 out of 10. That's an event. Challengers, online draft, champion, online rush, rivals. Okay, am I missing something here? So Ultimate Gauntlet, are they going to explain this? Okay, they're going to explain this afterwards. Because I'm hoping that you can still play these like after you're done them. Like you could play them normally, like a normal tournament mode. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what the other ones are, but we'll see. We'll see what it is. Oh, continue playing shows your last play. No, upcoming online rush, rivals, champions, challenges, online draft. Yeah, if they didn't mention anything about online draft for the trailer, then there's going to be nothing for that, right? Play versus CPU, squad battles, moments, single player draft, and then play versus friend is couch play, and then player friend. We streamline. Okay. Other tabs: FC Pro, PlayStation tournaments up to okay. Tournaments are back. This is the parts that I need to see. So tournaments bring back a classic knockout format with a new structure and flexible schedule designed to appear at key moments rather than run every week or stay evergreen like rivals or champs. Full details on timing and rewards will be shared in the launch update pitch notes. Tournaments may include specific entry requirements, objective progress, division rank, etc. Entry limits with refreshes. Each tournament brings its own rewards with different squad rules and setups across the season to keep things fresh. Single nation tournament. Okay. So this is you matchmaking against online people's FC player. Play event. Being insane national. No entry requirements. See, this doesn't have quantity amount. So, oh no, it does have quantity amount, 10 out of 10. Interesting. Let me see the gauntlets. Let me see what this one means. Gauntlets are a new way to test your club depth and your ability across multiple matches. Each gauntlet consists of up to 5 matches. However, instead of using the same squad each match, you'll need to use a completely different squad for every match, including the entire subs bench. This is where it's like, this is like reminding me of like 5 or 6 years ago, mentioning how all players of your team needs to contain some sort of value for like game modes, where it's like stuff like this. Like this is where I like the video game aspect of it, right? Where it's like I get foot champs rewards, and then there's going to be a decision making parts because if they're probably going to still have SBCs. Imagine they didn't, but it's now you have to be like more selective with who you're putting towards SBCs because those players need to be like meta enough for whatever new gauntlet comes out. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna need like a bunch of teams basically. But yeah, each gauntlet consists of up to 5 matches. However, instead of using the same squad each match, you'll need to use a completely different squad for every match, including the entire subs bench. At launch, we'll kick things off with the Ultimate Gauntlets, featuring 3 rounds requiring 3 unique squads and running every 2 weeks to start. This is just the beginning with more details to come in our launch update. Also, another clever way for them to make money. This is where it's like, this is the line where I'm like, this is where it makes sense for them to make money because people are going to spend on packs. They're going to want to have different teams. You know the vibes there, right? But this is more like where it's okay how they make their money. I get it. Because if you're doing a no FIFA point RTG, you got to do some menu grinding to get some of these teams. You know, we'll see what it is. Because it's only like look, it says some of them are like a minimum of like 5 La Liga players. Like brother, some people are gonna have the 5 La Liga players that are significantly better than a no FIFA point one. You know, so we'll see. At launch, we'll kick these off with Ultimate Gauntlet. This is just the beginning with more details. Unlike tournaments, there's no elimination here. You can keep playing through the full gauntlet regardless of the results, but the more you win, the better the rewards. It's a format where squad building choices matter just as much as what happens on the pitch. See, so this is where I'm confused. So you have challengers, Ultimate Gauntlet, and then Single Nation Tournament. But Ultimate Gauntlet test your club depth in the Ultimate Gauntlet to complete objectives and earn rewards. I'm just wondering if you can just play a tournament mode normally. For people that because people grind in this game. When you're done this stuff, can you just play it normally? Because there's 3 options here. This is where I'm confused. Maybe I'm missing something. Challengers is just a. Do they explain challengers here? Tournaments are back. Single nation tournament, Gauntlet, and then is there challengers? They don't talk about challengers. So challengers is the one where it's low division champs. Like, because if they're not mentioning it for this, it's what they were mentioning before, where it's like up to Division 6 for the lower rated version of champs. So is there no option just to play this like as a normal game mode? Because single nation tournament is 10 out of 10. And then Gauntlet is changing different squads. But there's no quantity amount in Gauntlet though, right? So maybe that's where you play the randomness. This is just the beginning of more details coming on launch. There's no quantity amount in this one, I don't know, but there's entries. There's entries for it though. Huh. So you got rivals, you got champs, and you have like 20 entries for this in GG. No, I get the foot champs for the lower division parts. Yeah, no, I get that. I'm just saying that, like, I guess they're not going to create a system where in tournaments you can just play it online normally when you don't want to do this stuff anymore. Like, let's say you complete the objectives. That's where I'm a little bit confused. Like, they don't have that as an option. I guess that's the way they're doing that is through Gauntlet, because entries too. It's supposed to be because they said it's replacing friendlies. Okay. As FIFA main game, you're going to go through this fast. Yeah, this is where I get confused. I have to see what that's like when the game's fully out, because again, the whole quantity amounts things I'm not really like crazy about. Because from what I'm seeing, you don't have a regular term mode. Like the way you test out different players is through Gauntlet, which is a cool. This is great. Listen, all this stuff is great. It's just when you're done these things, this is where I'm like, but this is good. These are good things. I'm okay with this. Like, these game modes are cool. Quantity amounts aside, we'll see. Yeah, FC26 integrates directly with FC Pro for the first time and provides top-tier division rivals players the opportunity to compete against the very best on PS5 and Xbox Series XS. Register for FC Pro competitions directly from within Football Ultimate Team. Compete, win, and climb regional leaderboards based on your peak elo. Qualify for onward FC Pro competitions such as FC Pro Open. Okay, so they're doing that like directly in the game. I'm thinking back to these tournament mode, right? These tournament modes, because okay, maybe this is just me. Maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, right? But with the concept of entries, are you not just making another competitive-based game mode? Do they not have a system where you can just play it normally, is what I'm saying? Because single nation tournament, it's all entries. Like, they all have entries to them. Like, this is 10 out of 10. And then the Gauntlet is a 2 out of 2. Because when you do quantity, you're making it sweatier. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it's not exact. Like, all of these can be a thing. All of these can be a thing. I'm totally down for it. But you still need to have a separate one where it's unlimited quantity and you could just play whatever. You know what I'm saying? They're all good. I'm totally okay with this. But separately, I'm not seeing a separate like thing for it. You know what I'm saying? 10 tournaments a week isn't that bad, to be honest. It's not, but you have to understand that, like, it depends on like the sweat level of this, right? Because they're saying it's like based on like each round that you're in, and then you're playing like each individual round, and then forcing you to use like certain squads. I like that stuff. I'm totally down for that, right? To use like different squads. My only issue is like when you're done these things, right? The thing, it's a separate like tournament mode, like the separate mode to just play, unless they have like online singles where there's still like objectives for that. I don't know. Like that's the only thing that's like throwing me off. I like these modes, quantity stuff aside. I'm just more confused if you don't do quantity amounts in a specific mode. That's what I'm saying, because there's no like. It's interesting. It's interesting. We'll see. We'll see. I have to play the game to like see and feel it out, basically, because you have to kind of like feel out the sweatiness of it. If like during the week, if the amount of tournaments that you get, if they're enough, you know, like just stuff like that. You got to like really feel it out. By the way, my mentality is really towards a player that is not of the skill level. You know, I'm really like about making everybody like, it's gonna take you longer, yes, but you'll get there, right? So I'm thinking in that sense. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, like, yeah, we could blitz right through this, right? It depends on the team that you have and stuff, but FC Pro live events we've already seen. Rivals revamp. Okay, so let's see what they say here. Our focus in FC26 is bringing more fan requested changes to Football Ultimate Team. As we listen to your feedback on Rivals, 3 key themes emerged. In Football Ultimate Team, it feels like there are too many matches to play, especially if you're aiming for top ranked rewards. Once you've climbed the divisions and are consistently matched up against similarly skilled players, the motivation to keep playing can taper off. Yes, this was the key thing here. A game like FC, it's like, bro, the comparison that I always used to make, like back in the day, was like Call of Duty, right? Like, imagine you're playing Call of Duty and you only have bro, these guys are really big on skill-based matchmaking, like destroying that game, right? That's what you basically had in FC, where you only, and the skill-based matchmaking is way crazier, especially when you're playing the beginning of the year, right? So it's like, imagine like you're climbing divisions, like for every single year that we've played this game, and then you just play straight sweat. You have no other options, right? So this is good that they brought up, right? Hitting a good run of form can leave you stranded in a higher division that you might not belong to, creating huge losing streaks as you wait for the season to refresh. Yeah, that was a huge problem too, for sure. We'll have more details to share on Rivals matches and rewards closer to launch in the launch update pitch notes. But no, we hear you, and we're working on it. Today, we're going to run through new systems designed to make Rivals feel exciting and rewarding, even if you don't walk away with the win. Okay, so there's bounties now. Bounties are randomly triggered challenges that apply to your next Rivals match. Complete one and you'll earn rewards immediately, ranging from Rivals points, champions, qualification points, coins, pack season XP, to even Rivals stage skips, allowing you to progress up the ladder faster. These are some examples of bounties that you might encounter while playing. Score the first goal, score the last goal, win by 2 or more, keep a clean sheet. Many bounties can be completed even if you don't go on to win the match, ensuring that you still have something to play for in each match. Good, because you can lose and you don't feel like you're losing, right? That's good because you're still losing. So in that sense, you're not progressing. That makes sense. Every game is like that. But you are doing objectives through your losses. This is a good video game concept. This exists in many other games. If we play Call of Duty, if we play, well, I always think of Call of Duty as a main game, Battlefield, right? If you lose a game of Battlefield, you were still upgrading your weapons, getting camouflages, whatever it is. That's important, right? You still feel like you're not winning, but you're progressing, right? So this is good that they added this, because that's a form of progression in a video game. You're not gonna, if you don't win, obviously you're not gonna go higher. That makes complete sense, but you're still progressing. So that's good. The bounties part is a good thing. Duels are special bounties that attempt to match you with opponents on the same challenge, like score first, ensuring that only one player can walk away with the reward. Imagine they say all of this, but it's the kickoffs are still a thing, because kickoffs have never been like not overpowered. So we'll see how that works out the game. Reach Division 8 and earn 7 points to qualify for the weekly reward. See, stuff like this I like. This is the video game stuff I like, you know? I like seeing stuff like that. Limited checkpoints. Limited checkpoints are a new form of breakable checkpoints that tracks losses and enables relegation once broken. Good. You'll see how many losses remain when selected in limited checkpoints, and the number of losses before it breaks can be different between each checkpoint. These checkpoints are intended to help prevent players from getting stuck outside of their skill equilibrium for long periods of time and reset the beginning of each rival season. All right, climbing division, better prizes. Your points could be used. Games you can afford to lose before dropping a stage 2. Okay. That's almost like Rivals, by the way. because you don't have like, I don't know if they have protection points. I think they have protection points now, right? Marky, it's like protection points might be from like 5 matches or something. I don't know, something like that. Okay, this is a big one. At times, qualifying for champions through playoffs was a tougher competition than champions itself, while for most skilled players, it was an extra skill check each week. In response to feedback around the number of required matches, playoffs have been removed in FC26 are no longer part of champions. Instead, you'll qualify directly for champions by reaching a specific rival's division and collecting champions qualification points. We'll have more details on the exact rivals division to qualify for champions in the FUT launch update pitch notes closer to launch. Minimum rivals division 6. Remaining 15. W Rage. Whoever rated, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks, my dude. Thanks, my boy. Hold on, let me just turn that on, actually. All right, we see this. Sorry, we're doing a YouTube video at the same time. That's why, my bad. Challenges for players outside the top divisions. We've added challengers, a new tier of champions with its own format and rewards. This gives more players a chance to experience the champions feeling while keeping the champions as the highest level of competition. Complete the challenges entry requirements objective group maximum division 6. Event ends in 19 days. Go to objectives. Complete the challenges requirements. Okay, competitive gameplay we don't need to read because that's basically what we've seen before. More responsive. That's like the whole thing there. This right here, this is people using their brain cells at the studios. This right here, this is really good. Really good. Big fan of this. Big fan of this. You have 2 different tiers for champions. You have challengers. Whoever came up with this is a great idea. This is fantastic. Lower skill players can still play something, even though they can't qualify for official FUT champs. And then you work your way to try to qualify for official FUT champs. That is really good. And you know what? The sweet spot of Division 6, really good too. Because when you play, so if this is, they're probably going to change this as the game progresses, right? But maximum Division 6 in the beginning of the year is good, because in the beginning of the year, this is people at the studios actually using their brain cells, right? In the beginning of the year, Division 5 and 4 is where it starts to really get sweaty. You know what I'm saying? But when you also create a mode like this, like the chat is saying, we're going to get to this point, right? You're definitely going to have Smurfs. Smurfs, the rats, are definitely not going to go higher in division rivals to smoke people in challengers. This is where it's a little bit of a concern, okay? Because it's a great idea. The concept of it is fantastic for the lower tier player, but 100% people will definitely not go higher in divisions to smoke more people in challengers. So that, I don't know how EA is going to regulate that. That's going to be a little bit of a weird one. This guy in my chat, some content creators are going to be like, hey guys, we are on a challenger account today. Let's see if we hit rank 1. Exactly. This is not really going to be exactly how they think unless there's I don't know if there's like a system to detect the skill level of a player or something, because 100% people are going to create a Smurf accounts for this. So we'll see. We'll see how that ends up going. Because people do that now, eh? They do that now with tournaments where, like, I don't know if it's changed because I haven't played tournaments or friendlies for players in years, right? But at the time, it used to really be based off of like your division rank, and your division rank was your matchmaking. And people used to, on purpose, because they didn't care about the division rival rewards, they used to on purpose not go higher in divisions just so that they can play lower quality players. And it was actually crazy because there was actually like specific points where like I had like 2 accounts, right? Review account has to maintain lower division because if you guys try to find a match right now in elite division, it takes, bro. I did a review for some elite, for some players a couple weeks ago. The guy was in the elite division. I'm not kidding, bro. I was even talking to him in the Discord. It took me like 40 minutes to find a match, and I'm like, this is a waste of my time, right? So you have to I have to maintain 2 different accounts, and depending on how this works, because I'm hoping that like it's probably gonna be the same thing where like I have to maintain like a lower to face competent people just for the sake of content, right? For one account, but then the other one is like, if you're playing normally, then you obviously climb normally. But that's what I'm saying. You see how I'm already saying like, not Division 6. I think Division 6 is a little bit crazy, but like Division 4 might be the cutoff. You know what I'm saying? In the beginning, it might be like a, because that's what we did for like the review account. It was like in the beginning, it was like, okay, Division 4-ish. And then you got to a point where it's like, okay, Division 2 was the sweet spot, right? Because elite players would relegate, but then Division 4 players would also go up. So there was the best matchmaking. And this is what I hate doing this, by the way, is right. This is where I'm always like, yo, tournament mode, tournament mode, tournament mode. So this is where I'm concerned about tournament modes being quantity amounts. If I can't play it normally, this is where it's a little bit concerning, right? So for me, 100% without even playing the game, and I'm curious to see how EA is going to do this. People will make Smurf accounts to play this. So if you're playing this, don't think it's going to be like if you're a lower quality player, don't think that you're going to be facing people of equal skill all the time. People will Smurf this. In the beginning, it might not be that big of a deal because pretty much everybody is max Division 6. But after a certain amount of time, we're going to have to see, because the Smurfing thing will definitely be a problem. So I'm curious to see how that's going to be handled, right? Competitive gameplay stuff, we've already looked into this. Match outcomes, this is them talking about like, oh, obviously if you tie and someone leaves on the game, you know, if you Smurf for Challenger, you ruin your rival rewards as well. If you Smurf for Challenger, you ruin your rival rewards as well. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though, Zero. People who play this game, they don't care about the rival rewards. You know what I'm saying? Like they got, you can ask anybody in the chat that plays it consistently. Marky, that's Zero. Yo, Zero, did you play Marvel Rivals the other day? Was that you? It might be you. Anyways, this is what I'm trying to say. People don't care about the rewards and rivals if they have other modes to play. So they're gonna do the Smurfing thing. Nope, never played it. Okay, so it wasn't you because your name looks really familiar. That's why. So yeah, I'm just curious about how that's gonna work out. Rush match outcomes, matchmaking delays. The Rush stuff, bro. I guys never played Rush. Not even. I swear, brother, if I open an account right now, it's gonna give me the tutorial for it. I never played Rush a single time yet. Not that it's bad. I don't know anything about it because it's cool. It's like, I guess it's like the 4v4, 5v5. Like that's a good thing. I'm not against that, right? I never played it, right? For content creation, there is no point. Maybe in the beginning, I could have made a video on it, like, oh, my first time playing Rush, but I never made that video, so, you know. Goal key repeatable evolutions, cosmetic upgrades. Yeah, they talked about that in the trailer. So this is all like really cool things. Graduated market access, which limits some accounts' access to transfer market when they first access Football Ultimate Team, has been live in FC on PC since late 2024. In FC 26, it will be active for all platforms starting at launch. If you're a returning foot player on the same platform and your account meets the requirements as in good standing, you'll have immediate access to the transfer market. Oh yeah, so they'll still do the same thing for that. Okay. Yeah, so long story short, from the stuff that we've seen today, right? Some of these changes are really good changes. They're changes that have been asked for a very long time. I have only 2 main concerns with the gameplay game modes. And this, again, you have to feel this out when you actually play the game, right? My main concerns is that in tournament modes, moving past the quantity amount part, which I don't like, right? But moving past the quantity amount part, it doesn't look like you could just play it normally, right? So I don't know if they're still not going to have a mode to just play online matches normally. Maybe they're going to do the whole thing where they're going to tell you could just play online single classic matches, which if anybody tells you that, they definitely don't play the game because you can't really find people in that. But that might not actually be a problem, right? Because I think with this, you know, basically them telling you to like play with different squads and all that kind of stuff, like one is like a single nation tournament, that stuff is cool. I'm totally down for that, right? But we'll see. We'll see what the balance is like. You can only really feel that out when you actually play it, right? And then the only other concern here is mainly in the challengers mode specifically, how they're gonna balance that out for people that don't care about rivals rewards, and they'll just go to a maximum division and maintain it and then never play rivals again, just so that they can play easier matches in challengers, because we do play in a very ratty community. Okay, we got people willingly playing FC25 doing cutbacks the entire time, so guys that are spamming L1 speed boost and step over accelerations because they're brain dead. But that's where it's a concern too for challengers, right? Is stuff like this. So we'll see how this kind of goes down. Maybe if rival rewards are like good enough, like if they're really good, it's rivals rewards and champs rewards are really good, maybe it's not going to really make people want to do those things. But some people, they still yearn for that, like, oh, we need that mode just to play the game normally, right? They do kind of like seek that out still. So we'll see. We'll see. That's my only two concerns. A lot of the other changes that they made here, again, is stuff that you pretty much asked for a long time. Like now, if you get like champs rewards, a lot of your things is valuable, right? That's something that you've been asking for like, that's like 10 plus years, where it's like imagine if I were to get my FUT champs rewards and I get my 44 players, like all those red players, all of them in this game would be valuable. Like you can get Handanovic as a goalkeeper. You can get, you know what I'm saying? Like all 44 of those players would be valuable. Like there's going to be tournaments where they're like, hey, you know, use a Liga NOS team with like minimum 7 players. Like now, if you were to get like, here, this is where it's important, right? They have no mention of SBCs or anything like that. They should have, right? Well, maybe it's going to be the same. I don't know. But now it's like, if there's SBCs that come out, you make SBC players more valuable again. You know what I'm saying? Because hopefully they still make them good, because this year 95% of them are garbage because of how relevant playstyles and roles were. Let's completely mention that, right? But you make SBC players. This is where it's the clever stuff of how they make money. Like that stuff, I give props for, like, hey, they come up with different ways to make more money, right? Because you're making these players more valuable. People are going to want to open more packs to complete the SBCs. Listen, I get it. It's a business. Got to make the money. I'm on it. You know, I completely understand. But it's still a good thing to add into the game, right? So yeah, no mention of SBCs. We'll see what the vibes are there. Maybe they'll talk about it more like afterwards. And then obviously with drafts not being mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and automatically assume that through FUT Draft, there's just no changes to it. That's what I'm thinking. Because it's still in the game. There's still it still says, where does it say? It says right here somewhere at the top. Yeah, right there. So online draft, challengers, champions, rivals, and rush. Yeah, very curious to see how they do like the tournament mode. So with online draft, they didn't really touch it, I'm assuming. So yeah, those are like the two main concerns, right? But the changes to rivals, having bounties and stuff is really good. If tournaments are not like, because they put quantity amounts in it, I hate quantity amounts. You guys know how I am with that. It makes this like a stressful variable in a video game. I'm not a fan of that, right? It's like it's these companies creating FOMO. I hate that. I hate that garbage, right? But a lot of good changes. I would honestly say 65, 70% good changes, 30%, 35 on the fence about, could be 50 if I actually play the game and feel it out. That's what the vibes are there. Because again, quantity amounts I'm not a fan of. People maybe smurfing in challenges could be an issue. We'll see if the rewards are good enough for people to not do that. I mean, they're still going to do that though, because they're going to have a main accounts that are going to go higher, and then they're going to have like a secondary accounts that may not, you know? I think if I have a review account, as I do every single year, the cutoff in the beginning of the year, it might actually be Division 6, just for the beginning. And then like as time progresses, Division 4, Division 2, like the Elite Division, bro, you guys should see, man. Holy, there was an account this year where on the review account, I went way too high for divisions. Oh my brother. What a mistake. I'm like, oh my God, I have to make another account. If I don't make another account, bro, I'm cooked. I'm going to be here for 30 minutes looking for a game. This is why I was like really big on like tournament modes and stuff, right? But yeah. People are smurfing in champs at the moment by going 0-5 in the first 5 matches for easier matchmaking to 10-0. Gamers are rats. You see what I'm saying, dude? Division 3 to Elite. Yeah, Division 3, Yusef. That I think for it was this year, I went to Division 3 or 4, and I was like, what a mistake I just made. I was like, what a mistake I just made, bro. It was 3 or 4 in the beginning. I think it was like the first week and a half, 2 weeks. I'm like, oh no, I gotta make another account. And then I think I maintained Division 5. 5 was a really good cutoff, actually. Because it was Division 5 like 4 weeks after. So I was like, okay, this is where like the competent players are. My matchmaking is more open, stuff like that, you know? Bro, but last year I was like, I got here too quickly. Bro, I couldn't find a match for like 30 minutes. I was like, nah, it's cooked. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. There's nothing else to talk about for Ultimate Team. I'm gonna give it a percentage 60% good. They're not talking about a lot of things, and there could be some ratty things to kind of go around these modes. So we'll see. We'll see what the vibes are, boys. Guys, thanks for watching. Thank goodness I actually have a content today that I'm interested in doing, because FC25 is complete trash. Thanks for watching, boys. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.